Welcome to this edition of the First Aid Show. Now recently I had to have an operation. It was an ankle arthroscopy on both feet, and I was searching through the internet and I couldn't really find much information about the operation apart from the technical side, but there was not really much about what it's like when you have the operation. So I thought I'd take this opportunity to tell you a little bit about what the operation is like and what the recovery is like. Now the arthroscopy, what their idea is, they're using keyhole surgery to clean up a joint. Now, it may well be there's been an injury previously, and in my case I was hit by a drunk driver and broke both my ankles. And what happened over time is bone had grown, broken bits of bone had ended up there, and there's extra bits of cartilage that shouldn't really have been there. So the idea is, under full anaesthetic, they put some holes in. I had 4 holes in each ankle, and they were doing the main ankle joint and also the subtalar joint, which is the joint between the ankle and the heel bone. So they take in some tools and equipment and cameras, and they'll actually look and they'll clean up the joints. Now, as far as the operation itself goes, it's quite straightforward. Had to be at the hospital first thing in the morning, and so 8 o'clock in the morning, taken down pretty quick, and you're under full anaesthetic. And that's probably the biggest worry for most people, is the actual anaesthetic, but really it's not much to worry about. Once you then come round, the pain control, they actually inject into the joint some painkillers, which should hopefully take away the pain when you come round, but there will be some discomfort. I was in hospital for a day and the night following it, so I went home the next day. The actual operation then was the feet were bandaged. My mobility was reduced because having both done. So if you have one, it's quite easier because you can still hop around on your good foot. But aftercare on it, really, it put me out of action for a number of weeks. I went back to the hospital after a week and then another week after that to have dressings changed, and there was no infections and problems there. The doctors will then tell you what's what, and in most cases, often with injuries like that, it actually can cure the problem or make it better. If it doesn't cure it and make it better, it will give the doctors the opportunity to see what else needs doing. So it may well be that they can see that they've cleared out the problems. In my case, there was loads of stuff to be removed, but then it identified that the actual ankle joint had some problems and also the subtalar joint. So then they decided that that's going to need fusing on a separate second operation. So we'll have another chat about that on a separate First Aid Show video. But generally, if you're going to have this procedure, it's not that pleasant afterwards, but you do get around. If it's just one foot, it's going to be quite straightforward. If you do have to have both feet done, then you need to be looking at the fact that you are going to be not that mobile for a number of weeks.